Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. It's trucker news time. Let's all rejoice in some trucker news. If you made it here, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. Ring that bell and you'll get notified. Because, when I do live shows, I just go live. I don't like to schedule them. I like to just go live. I like to see who's got their notifications set. Maybe. But let's talk about some trucker news. I like to talk trucker news. I basically just go through and talk about news stories I found, give you my opinion on them, kind of keep a pulse on what's going on in the trucking world these days. So let's get right into it. First story is pretty crazy. 280 migrants rescued from abandoned locked tractor trailer. Come on with it. Scary story. We'll get into that. The FMCSA has extended the deadline for predatory lease purchase task force applications. So if you would like to tattle on, a crappy lease purchase company, bring it on. Send it on right on to them. Just Google that and figure out how to do it. Driver says a sneeze caused him to crash his truck. Oh, what a day. What a day that must have been. U.S. Express CEO says variance numbers still lag, but CEO Fuller vows progress. Definitely got opinions on that. Yellow Corp tells Teamsters it will close 9 terminals as part of restructuring. Yellow Freight closing 9 terminals. We'll get into that. Missouri Trucking Company files for bankruptcy after USPS cuts back mail hauling contracts. Going to be a lot of bankruptcies coming in the near future, I think. Just saying. 18,000 Kenworth and Peterbilt trucks are recalled for possible steering wheel defects. Steering defects, we'll get into that. And then my opinion piece of the day is North Carolina has claimed they have built the Taj Mahal of rest areas. We'll see about that. So let's get with it. Let's lock it in, roll them up, and get on the road. All right, first story of the day is a crazy one. 280 migrants rescued from abandoned locked tractor trailer. Check out this picture right here. It's absolutely madness. It looks like a C.R. England Company picnic over here. Come on. Looks ridiculous. Ridiculous over here. It says the migrants were found on May 3rd in Veracruz, Mexico, near a gas station along the, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that highway name. Them boys had them a big chromed out Pro Star and they were getting it done. According to the Daily Mail, police responded to a 911 call regarding the truck and unlocked the trailer door to discover multiple migrants crammed inside. The migrants hailed from Ecuador, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, and Cuba. 18 of them were minors, and at least 3 were transported to a nearby hospital for dehydration. Yeah, that's pretty rough being 280 people. 280 in a freaking trailer. It does look like it's got a side door on it and a vent door. That's good, you know what I mean? Like, at least maybe they were getting some air in there. I'm trying to look. It looks like a dry van. It's not even a refrigerated trailer. My advice, if you're going to haul migrants, get a refrigerated trailer, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to show up with a bunch of dead bodies in there. Come on. Next story, FMCSA extends deadline for predatory lease purchase task force applications. I'm a big fan of this. I think these predatory lease purchases hurt the entire industry. Not only are they hurting the people that do it, but they're hurting the industry, because if these big companies can pay a guy $1 a mile plus fuel surcharge, they can haul freight for like $1.50, $2 a mile, even in the hardest of times. And they don't care if you make money or not, as long as you make enough money for them to make their truck payment, and it's their truck. Don't get it twisted. That's how they do it. And it's sad because it hurts the whole industry. It brings the rates down on everything. But the thing says, if you're interested in applying for the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration's truck leasing task force, you have a little more time to submit your application. The FMCSA will now be accepting TLTF applications through May 13th, so you ain't got much time. You need to get on it. The previous deadline was May 6th. The TLTF will be asked to evaluate the impacts of commercial motor vehicle lease agreements and discuss best practices for future agreements. Of course, you know, they're probably asking the who's who, the Primes and the Hirschbachs and the, you know, freaking CR Englands and CRSTs and Western Express. They're probably asking them their opinion. You know what I mean? It's never the common sense approach gets the go in the FMCSA, in my opinion. But yeah, if you want to check that out, get in there, check it out. It says the agency is looking for at least 10 members representing labor organization, motor carriers, consumer protection groups, legal professionals, owner-operators, and other relevant businesses. The task force will be instrumental in expanding our understanding of the financial impacts of truck leasing and will reinforce our commitment to quality of life and safety for professional truck drivers. FMCSA Acting Administrator Robin Hutchinson. We ask those who are interested in joining to reach out so we can better support the commercial motor vehicle drivers together. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I think I'm going to sign up when I get done doing this. I would love to be part of the FMCSA Lease Purchase Task Force. Whoo, can you imagine what I would say in that meeting? Oh, man. Hashtag no filter, come on. Hashtag no filter. Yeah. Next story we got here, it's kind of rough, but it's kind of, it's borderline funny to crazy to me. Driver says a sneezing fit sent log truck into pile of stored logs. I got a picture for you here if you want to take a quick look at that. Looks like he went ham bone into a pile of logs. Hopefully he was sneezing, you know, not something else he was doing, you know, not distracted. But I do find that a little weird when I have to sneeze and I'm driving, like, because you don't want to, you know, you kind of get a half sneeze, you know, you don't get like a real sneeze because you can't, like, you know, really let it go. But apparently this guy did, and he he took that Western Star right on down to a pile of logs and crashed it into him. So says the truck driver is blaming a sneezing fit after crashing into a pile of logs at a mill in Maine on Thursday. The accident happened on May 5th at around 11:30 a.m. According to ABC 8 News, the driver Matthew Carmichael was heading south on Massaris Road, hauling cedar logs when he began having sneezing fit and lost control of the truck. Carmichael then went off the right side of the roadway and crashed into a larger pile of stored logs at the Daquam Mill. Dang, so he hit a pile of logs and then hit another pile of logs. That truck looks pretty rough. I'm pretty sure that windshield is gone. That hood is gone. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on with the axle because it looks like the tire is turned, but he looks like he may have broke some front suspension pieces there. Hopefully they rebuild it because that's a Western Star. You know what I mean? Never give up on a Western Star. That's my opinion. Let's see what we got here. Next story, big one. U.S. Express CEO Fuller says that variance numbers still lag, but he vows progress. Let me break it down for him real quick here. When you put lipstick on a pig, it's a pig with lipstick. I mean, let's face it. That's what this variant is. You're still working for U.S. Express. Like at the end of the day, companies like that are always going to go to the lowest common denominator. And it may take 5 years, it may take 5 minutes, but eventually variant will just be running like U.S. Express. Like, to me, that's the way it is. It's lipstick on a pig, but let's read it real quick. It says, although at first glance, some of the numbers on the variant segment of U.S. Express seems to reveal little improvement in its performance, CEO Eric Fuller told analysts at the best is yet to come. Oh, that sounds like a guy that's in over his head. Let me give you a cliche saying, the best is yet to come. Variant is the growth engine of our company, and improving its financial results is critical for our long-term success. Fuller said the numbers at Variant that look better were figures that look good at all truckload carriers in the first quarter. For example, Variant's average revenue per tractor per week rose to $4,065 from $3,740 sequentially compared Compared to the fourth quarter of 2021, an 8.7 increase that would have been easily matched or surpassed at numerous truckload carriers. If you guys want to see some interesting numbers, go through some of these publicly traded trucking companies and see how they operate. Now you think about that. Variant is happy that they averaged $4,000 a week gross revenue versus $3,740. That just shows you how little they're going to pay a driver if they're only grossing $4,065 on these brand new trucks. You know, it's not a high profit margin business. Most of these mega carriers are running. To me, they're hauling freight too damn cheap. But it is what it is. Driver turnover, which always cited as one of the advantages of Variant, was going to provide. Okay, so basically, I don't know how I read that wrong, but it's saying Variant's big thing was going to be driver retention, and it says was a staggering 148% turnover. Ouch! In the first quarter compared to 107% in the fourth quarter. Ouch! 150% rollover. So that means for every one truck they got, they had to hire 1.5 drivers to keep somebody in that truck. Lipstick on a pig, boys. If it's a good company and it pays well, you ain't gonna be leaving. But let's face it, when you're making $4,065 gross revenue to the truck, you can't afford to pay the driver $2,000 a week like some of these other good companies do. Because hell, I mean, by the time you pay a truck payment, you buy this expensive ass fuel, and you pay all this administrative, and you pay your CEO Eric Fuller. I don't know what he makes, probably a couple $1 million. I mean, the funny thing is, I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say, I bet Eric Fuller makes more off of every truck than the driver who drives that truck at US Express. I can look those numbers up, and I tell you what, next Trucker News, I'll bring that information to you. So yeah, craziness. That 107% rollover figure had already marked a slide during the second half of the year and started with solid turnover figures of 58%. See, there you go. They started out saying, oh, we're the greatest. We're going to treat you good. We're going to do you better. And they had 58% turnover. And 1 year later, they're at 148%. So their turnover went up 100%. That shows you they ain't no better than anybody else at treating drivers good. And this whole pyramid scheme that Variant's got a thing where if you're a driver there and you recruit another driver, you get like $2,000 and you get 2 cents for every mile that driver you recruited turns. So you could recruit 50 drivers, but the problem is none of them are staying. So I think that $2,000 incentive off the bat is the only way you're going to make anything off of that, but it's probably misleading a lot of drivers, because I got to tell you, if I worked at Variant, I might lead my friends in for the slaughter and have them come work at Variant. I make no bones about how I feel about some of these companies. Safety was also touted as Variant's strength, but preventable accidents per million miles traveled rose to 8.12 from 6.82 in the fourth quarter. There again, they started out saying all these things that were really good, and now they're just turning into a mega carrier. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just say, well, we're going to create a pyramid scheme to recruit drivers, and we're going to get you home when you want to be home, and we're going to treat you good, and that you got to live up to that. You know what I mean? Like, US Express could have done these numbers if they would just treat people better and stop hauling freight for $4,000 a weekly gross revenue. Problem with that, they're probably not utilizing those trucks. They're probably getting like 2,000 miles a week in. The drivers over there are getting like 2,000 miles a week at $2 a mile. I mean, you're not utilizing your equipment. You got too many chiefs and not enough Indians in that office probably. You're probably not getting those trucks to the freight. You're not getting them on the freight. And, it's all this contract crap. They're hauling that Dollar General for $2 a mile. It just... For me, it's a mega carrier. It's day in, day out mega carrier stuff. The truck count at Variant is already up to 1691. They already got 1,700 trucks over there, and it's flopping like a dead fish, flopping like a fish out of water. I don't know. Maybe soon it will flop like a dead fish. What will they name it next time? That's what you do. Down in the comments, what are they going to change the name of US Express to next time? I don't know. Bullshit, maybe. That would be a good one to put on there. At least it'd be honest. The truck count at Variant was 1,700 at the end of the quarter, up from 1,555. That's an 8.7 increase. And that's the only thing these mega carriers know how to do is buy trucks and buy trailers and hire the damn people straight out of school and treat them like shit. You know what I mean? Like, pardon my French, but that's what they do. That's what they do. So anyway, yeah, let's get on down here. I want to read more about Variant. Variant had an operating revenue of $84 million in a net quarter. In the quarter net of fuel, Fuller says on the earnings call that is an increase of 17%. Total operating revenue at US Express was $464 million for the quarter, net of fuel. So, that's crazy to have a company that big and only make that amount of money. It's it's a lot of money. $464 million is a lot of money. But you got to think, they got thousands of trucks. You know what I mean? Like, true, man. If there is an elevator speech for Variant, it would be a technology-driven truckload carrier with a truckload carrier looking to the maximum use of process and efficiency routing, team-based approach. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Variant sinking like a rock. I'll break it down to you real quick. Variant, there you go. You got to do better. You can't just talk it. You got to do better. All right, moving on. Next company we're going to talk about here, Yellow Corp. Yellow Corp. The company that borrowed the $700 million PPP money to buy new equipment and pay off debt, and yet, nobody went to jail over that. I think could be a little weird, but Yellow Request aims to close and consolidate terminals, establish velocity output centers. Oy, what a way to put something, let's face it, they're closing 9 terminals because they're consolidating because, that's what big companies do. They bought Holland, they bought ReadyWay. Like, it's only a matter of time before they start, they bought New Pen also. It's just a matter of time before they start squishing it all down. You know what I mean? Like, that's why these companies buy these other companies. So they can turn 2 into an efficient, 1.8. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. If anybody's surprised by Yellow closing terminals, let me know in the comments. It says, according to 2 changes of operation requests, less than truckload carrier Yellow Corp has begun the process of consolidating terminals in its western network. The company seeks to consolidate 20 YRC freight and ReadyWay facilities and close 9. So there you go. They're going to consolidate 20 and close 9. In an accompanying letter to the Teamsters and its negotiating group is asking for a hearing on or about June 13th, with implementation not taking place until July 17th at the earliest. Yellow provided a notification in accordance with National Master Freight Amendment guidelines. The documents were posted on the website of the Teamsters, a Democratic Union, there you go. Action is part of a multiple-phased restructuring named One Yellow. Oh, they got a restructuring program so big they named it. It's called One Yellow. See, that tells you they're trying to squeeze everything into one. As part of the shakeup, Yellow consolidated its 4 LTL operating companies and its logistic unit under one roof on the same technology system. There you go. Merged them right up real nice like. But I hope they stay in business. That's the main thing. Like, I don't like to see trucking companies go under, but I also don't want the government to keep them up either. That's a big thing too. The purpose of the change request is to create a super regional network built for speed by increasing density and load factor in pickup and delivery and in line haul movements, improve service, reduce empty mileage, eliminate certain fixed costs, building and lease management, staffing, taxes, communications, and improve. Basically, they want to improve everything. They got a lot of work to do. They got a lot of work to do over there at them boys. In addition to the turnaround initiatives, the carrier used a controversial $700 million pandemic relief loan to pay off obligations and to update its aging fleet. Yeah, they bought like, what was this? Like a freaking 1,000 Peterbilt day cabs or something like that. I did a video on it. I can't remember exactly. 1,200, I think the number was. The actions are expected to reduce the maintenance costs and improve fuel efficiency during the fourth quarter. Yellow reported a 95.7% operating ratio, 4.3% operating margin, which was 300 basis points better year over year. Yeah, I mean, freight was paying better, you know what I mean? Like, everybody should have had a stellar year last year. In the first quarter, you know, I see a lot of these public companies right now saying, oh, our whole year is going to be better. And it's like, ooh, you had a good first quarter, but you really think it's going to be that good for the whole year? Now, a lot of these, like Werner, you know, that's contract freight, you know, so they may have a better year just because of that, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, there's the story on Yellow. You know, they're consolidating, they're smashing down. It says guidance previously provided management indicated the Yellow network would consist of 308 or 309 terminals by the end of this year. The carrier was operating 317 terminals in the fourth quarter of last year. So yeah, they're looking to close 8 or 9 terminals, it looks like. There you go. It does not say anything about which ones they're going to consolidate or close here, but when that news comes out, I'll be on top of it. Trust me, I'll be on top of it like a potluck dinner. Missouri Trucking Companies files for bankruptcy after USPS cuts back mail hauling contract. Rooney Trucking cites prior cuts to service from USPS in bankruptcy filings. Missouri-based trucking company, which contracted with the U.S. Postal Service to haul mail, recently ceased operations and filed Chapter 7. Ooh, that's the big one. Family-owned Rooney Trucking Incorporated, headquartered in Polo, filed its petition in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court of the Western District of Missouri on Monday. Attorney Ryan Blay told FreightWaves fuel and labor expenses were certainly issues that affected Rooney Trucking. Yeah, those are the big ones. Those are going to be getting everybody. You know, all these companies that raise their pay up to 60, 70 cents a mile, I don't see how you're making it right now at $2 a mile. I mean, driver, 60 cents a mile pay costs you probably 80 cents on the back end, if not more. Fuel's costing you, 80 cents. Equipment, 25, 30 cents a mile. Hey, where's the profits? There is no profits. The bigger issue, though, was the decision by the U.S. Postal Service to take away some routes and cancel certain contracts. Blay said the business couldn't function profitably with a restricted income stream. It was the biggest factor in the decision to declare bankruptcy for the company. For you guys running spot market in Missouri, it's probably a good thing that they didn't decide just to jump on the spot market because, you're just adding more and more capacity. It says in its filing, the trucking company states it was unable to fulfill its 14-month contract to haul U.S. mail within a 150-mile radius of Kansas City, Missouri, due to expected loss of staff and, as a result, bankruptcy filings and prior cuts to service for the USPS. Some smaller mail contractors have struggled to stay afloat since the USPS announced it's revamping its $6.6 billion contract program with private trucking fleets in 2019. The program, known as Dynamic Route Optimization, changed the way private carriers were paid, switching from contract rates to pay trucking companies on a mileage basis. This led to consolidation among mail hauling companies that could service a large region and squeeze out some of the smaller private contracts in the industry. Yeah, I think that's what happened over there at 10 Roads, wasn't it? There was like a bunch of companies that merged into one at 10 Roads. Of According to the Chapter 7 petition, Rooney filed the appeal with the Postal Service Department of Contract Appeals on March 22nd. The filing, Rooney Trucking listed its assets at $10 million and liability of $500,000 to $1 million. The company, which has up to 49 creditors, maintains that no funds will be available or distribution to unsecured creditors after administration fees are paid. Ooh, so if you loan them money, unsecured money, you are not getting paid. Dang, crazy. The IRS is listed as the company's largest unsecured creditor. Well, they'll get their money. Owed nearly $200,000. The filing also lists the names of the truck drivers, but doesn't include the possible wage amounts they are owed. Oh wow, so their truck drivers are listed in their unsecured. That's a bummer. Company owned by Patrick and Dixie Rooney of Polo was founded in 1955. According to Rooney Trucking Financials, its gross revenue from January 1st until its bankruptcy filing to date are $1 million. Its petition states the company made nearly $5.2 million in 2021 and about $5.7 million in 2020. The 67-year-old trucking company had 37 drivers, 66 power units, according to the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Web. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, you could tell they was having staffing issues. You know what I mean? When you got 37 drivers and 66 power units, those numbers are a little off. Next story here: nearly 18,000 Kenworth and Peterbilt trucks recalled for possible steering defects. If you got a PACCAR, you might want to look up the serial number, see if you got a recall. PACCAR Incorporated has issued a recall for thousands of trucks due to an issue that could result in the loss of steering capability. Hey, when you look as good as you do in a Peterbilt, who cares if you can steer the damn thing, am I right? According to National Highway Traffic Safety Administration safety recall documents, PACCAR issued a recall because of the Dana D series axle steer arm fasteners that attach the steering arms to the steering knuckle may fail. Fastener failures can result in a loss of steering control, increasing the risk of a crash. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say if you can't steer your truck, it does increase the risk of a crash. Lord have mercy. The recall affects 17,641 vehicles. And how many is on here? I'll give you a quick rundown. Here. If you've got a 2018 to 2020 Kenworth, T270, T370, T440, T470, T660. I didn't know they were making T660s in 2018. The T680 is on there. That's the most common over-the-road truck for us. So if you've got a 2018 to 2020 Kenworth T680, get that looked at. T880, T800s, the W900, and the W990s on there. Holy hell. And the Peterbilts it affects are 2018 to 2020 Peterbilts. You got the Peterbilt 330, 337, 348, 365, 367. There's the common one. 389 is on there. 520, 567, and the most common road truck out here for Peterbilts, that 579, I would think, is probably the most common these days. Truck owners will be notified on June 24th. Wow. Hey, your truck may lose its steering, but we'll notify you sometime at the end of next month. Isn't that great? Truck owners can also contact Kenworth Service and Peterbilt Service for the recalls. It's the recall is called the 22 PBB and 22 KWB. That's the name of the recall. So if you want to contact your manufacturer and ask them about it, I would probably do that sooner than later. Taj Mahal of rest areas is opening North Carolina. I gotta be honest with you, it looks like a pretty normal ass rest area. My problem with it has 30 truck parking spots. How can you say it's the Taj Mahal of rest areas? It's got 30 truck parking spots. You have spent $5 million and we got 30 truck parking spots out of it. That's a shame, North Carolina. Shame. You spent $5 million and made 30 truck parking spots. Who cares if you got marble in the shit house bathroom? I personally don't. I'd like to have more parking spots. And that's my opinion today, guys. Be sure to go by and enjoy the Taj Mahal of rest areas, where there's this Where's this flaming bag of crap at? It's North Carolina Department of Transportation, taking great pride in their new rest area opening this week along I-26. They do need more parking up through there, but boy, they really didn't help us out. They opened it in I-26 in Buncombe County rest area. Officials say the facility is luxurious. Oh, wow. I gotta say, it don't look nothing special to me. Apparently, these boys never been to Wisconsin and seen their rest areas. Where is it at? Rest area is located eastbound and down I-26 at mile marker 41, just beyond the airport exit road. Officials say the rest area is scheduled to open Friday, May 6th. The corresponding westbound rest area will open in the middle of June, hopefully with more parking spots. I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Be sure to hit that like button. Take care of each other out there. Remember, people are more important than trucking. We'll see you next time.